The man never imagined it. All his life he believed he had no talent. What he didn't know was that every one of the 6 saints who once trained him had thought he was a once-in-a-generation prodigy. They had even agreed to raise him together. When Noro trained under the Sword Saint, he only learned the most basic parry. Yet during his sparring demonstration, he read the Sword Saint's hidden technique in a single glance, a move even the master himself hadn't fully mastered. Shocked, the Sword Saint judged Noro's potential as extraordinary. But months later, confusion set in. Why couldn't Noro learn anything beyond that one parry? Even a single basic sword technique would have ensured him a brilliant future. After 3 months, with no progress, the Sword Saint reluctantly sent Noro to another discipline. Not because he thought Noro worthless, on the contrary, he was convinced Noro's gifts would shine elsewhere. At the Warrior's Hall, Noro endured brutal training meant to harden bodies against falling boulders. When an accident sent a massive stone crashing down, Noro didn't flee. He braced himself with a defender's stance, his eyes unwavering. The instructor saw in him the makings of an unyielding shield. But in the end, Noro still failed to unlock any skills. With the hunters, Noro was admitted only when he hurled a stone and perfectly struck a distant target. Yet no matter how hard he tried, every bowstring snapped in his hands. Months later, the hunter master realized Noro's only talent was his uncanny accuracy with thrown stones. Noro explained he had honed at hunting birds in the mountains, the swift thunderclaw birds, prey that even veteran hunters could not catch. The assassin master praised Noro's spirit and stealth, considering recruiting him into the kingdom's spy network. The mage master, however, declared Noro void of mana. He shut Noro inside a resonance chamber that amplified magical senses. Hours in such a place would break anyone's mind. Days later, he realized he had forgotten Noro inside. Opening the door, he found Noro calm, even annoyed at the interruption. Later, Noro cast a fire spark spell twice in quick succession. The mage froze. That was double chanting, a technique he himself had needed 50 years to master. With the cleric saint, Noro somehow manifested minor healing miracles within 3 months. Despite never receiving divine blessings, it meant he could call upon miracle power endlessly, unaided by spirits. Yet none of this was ever told to Noro. Believing himself a failure, he left the capital alone. When the 6 saints learned of it, they convened in shock. Each of them had glimpsed brilliance. With the right guidance, Noro would surpass them all. But by the time they resolved to train him together, he was gone. For the next decade and more, Noro did only one thing. He trained his parry. What began as deflecting 10 wooden swords at once became 100, then 1,000. If he could only master a single move, he would take it to the absolute extreme. Noro had no idea how powerful he had become. To him, it was only the world's most basic parry, a skill every swordsman knew. Since the day he swore to be an adventurer, people told him he was talentless. Noro felt the sting of those words deeply. He failed at every discipline: swordplay, warrior arts, hunting, magic, even holy rites. At best, he picked up common life skills, but despair never made him quit. As a child, he had loved the stories his father told of heroes who felled dragons with a single strike. His parents were gone now, but their memory carried him. Noro vowed never to give up. He remembered the Sword Saint's words: if you train a single move long enough, you may awaken a new skill. So he trained. After 1 year, he parried 10 blades at once. After 3, he reached 100. No new skills came. 14 years passed. Now he could deflect 1,000 blades in a single motion. At his parents' grave, Noro said farewell. Then he walked into the Adventurers Guild once more.